Hey everybody, it's Steve with Few Country Leather, and this is part 4, I guess. After I got the basket weave finished and all the edges of the interior part of the artwork finished with the camouflage tool, and so the next thing is, well, I'm gonna peel the tape off. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it out. And so we're ready. I mean, that's it. We're finished with the artwork. You can tell that I went ahead and finished all the way around the logo and down here on the bottom end. And I left all this blank down here because that's where the strap goes through. And so that'll all be covered up anyway. And just the only thing that'll be up here on top will be a snap. And the strap will fold over the top of it and it'll snap from behind. And so that will be the end of that, because the actual domed part of the snap, like something that's on your jacket or whatever, just a regular snap. So it'll be right there, and that dome part, and then the rest of the hardware will be on the back side of it. And so we'll get that taken care of. And as far as knives are concerned, when I'm cutting stuff, I mean, I love all the guys that are out there, all the folks that are in leather work, all the guys and gals that are doing it across the country and around the world, and everybody has their own knife preference. But I tell you, my favorite go-to thing is my good old trusty carpenter's knife, and that's what I've used. I've bought high dollar knives and stuff, but I just like the use of that. It's got a big old handle that it takes a beating, and I don't have to worry about it, and I can change blades, and get fresh blades. And I may have to go ahead and do that right here. But boy, that'd be bad to mess it up here now. It's happened. I've done it. I have to start over from this part, or even farther along. I've gotten finished. I did a Bible cover for a friend the other day, and made it too small. Got his name on the front of it and everything. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but we'll make another one. That's what I'm gonna do. All right. Kind of clean that edge up just a fuzz. There. All righty. Change this blade out real quick. And that's simple. I've been packing one of these for a long time. Come out of the Marine Corps working for my dad, and just picked one up and started using it, and that's what I always carried in my tool pouch. See how I'm using this metal ruler? I want to get it right out away from the edge of the piece, because we don't want to miss and get over into the actual sling itself. Oh yeah, see there? That's what a new blade will do for you. And see, it's got a little bit of a lip to it where I've used this knife on both sides of it. And what will happen is, and if you've watched any of my videos before, you know that I've got an edging tool that I'll run that around the edge, and that peels off that corner and makes it rounds that edge over. And but that's one of the last things that ever gets done. Now the hard part is following that line around. That's why I cut that. That's why I cut that line in there, so that I've got. It's not an ink pen mark. It's not a pencil mark. It starts out as that when I draw my pattern on it. And now, even though that's a little bit uneven looking, I can go back with sandpaper and round that all off, and take my edging tool and edge that, and it's never even know that it was done with a hobby knife, if nothing else. Construction knife. I always cut. You see that? I always cut away from my piece. I'm right-handed, so I'll cut to the right side, and that way, if I get away from my straight edge, I'm not getting over into my artwork. If I make a miss, and I've done that, man, I tell you what, that's the worst feeling in the world, is to get over 1/16 of an inch, 1/18 of an inch, or an 1/8 of an inch, and get over into that border. It ruins the whole piece. And so it's easier just to stay on that line and stay on the outside. Take my straight edge, put it right on the artwork, and that way it's protected. And I'm running. I didn't cut it all the way through. And I'm running with that straight edge and not over into my piece that's going to be my finished product. And I still didn't cut all the way through there. There. No worries on that. That cleans up too. Sandpaper that works wonders on leather. Now we got to get this little jog in here. This is the hardest one because I'm trying to fight the curve of the piece. And I don't want to put an awful bunch of pressure on it, so it takes a couple of times. There we go. I better not brag too quick. That is being contrary. Go down this one side. There we go. Ooh, yeah, there we go. Now, it's starting to look like a sling now. Okay. Now just to work through this little curve here, this little jog. There we go. And that's it. We got it cut out. A little bit of sandpaper, just kind of round these edges off just a little bit, and it'll set and dry overnight. It's got some wet places. You can't really see it too well on the camera, but it's got a couple of little damp spots where I sprayed it and had it wet where I was doing the tooling. And if I tried to dye it tonight, those wet places would just soak up that dye, and it would really change the the opposite end of the piece. We don't want to get messed up with that. It looked blotchy, if that makes sense. That water catches that dye and just seems like it holds it. And so whatever's got like whatever's a little damp spot just gets magnified in the finished product. And I mean, I'm using dark brown. I'll be using dark brown, and then I'll be using dark brown antique on it too. We'll go through all that process probably tomorrow, but that'll probably cover it up. But really, on the browns, I don't like to do it while they're wet, and I can feel it right here on the back where that tape kind of pulled up a little bit. I can still feel it just a little bit right in there where I was just working on that just a little bit ago. So I'm going to let this set, and it's got a hole in it. I'll just stick it up here on the pegboard, and it'll sit overnight, and then tomorrow we'll come back and we'll dye it and antique it. Hey, it's Thursday, and Sunday's coming. Hey, it's Easter. This is Easter coming up in the next couple of weeks. We're going to have Easter, and that's Resurrection Sunday. And so y'all get out to church somewhere. Go find a good church. And kind of biased myself to Victory Baptist Church over at Coal Run, up behind Wendy's on the mountain there. And so if you're in the neighborhood, come by and see us at Victory Baptist. And we're going to be around getting ready to have our 45th anniversary coming up there at Victory Baptist. At the end of April, we'll be having a big dinner and stuff on Sunday the 30th. But Easter Sunday, we'd love to have you. Hey, we'd love to have you this Sunday. Come on out. Love to have you. We got Sunday school for all ages, and great services, great preaching, King James Bible, independent, fundamental Baptist preaching. Just come on out. We'd love to have you. Lord bless you. Y'all take care. See you tomorrow.